Hello and welcome to the inaugural Leaders Lounge.
Leadership is a skill that can be learned.
Things that are non-negotiables like hard work, being on time, respect for yourself, respect for the people around you. And we had a saying in our squad, the winning qualities of the team will be defined by the standards that we set.
I remember I was taught that connection is like an invisible cord between two people, and the great leaders have this capacity to develop these cords between all the people that they work with in their organisation. And the thicker the cord, the stronger the relationship.
The best teamwork comes from those people working as individuals towards one goal in unison. The individual is really, really important. You've got to create a platform, an environment, and you've got to get into his or her mindset.
The paradox for leaders to get the most from your team in a remote working environment is you have to hand control to them. Now, that's a very uncomfortable space.
It can be difficult for some leaders to do that.
And I've been speaking a lot about being comfortable, about being uncomfortable.
I think we can still connect with emotion. We can still show people we care. We can still talk on a Zoom call and inspire people with a vision for the future. I still think we can do that.
What success looked like last year won't be what success will look like next year or next week or next month, because invariably, as humans, our capacity to evolve and outperform ourselves and continue, you know, we always see world records, new Olympic records, new times, and that is the beauty of our capacity, is that it is infinite.
People will follow you, not because they're paid to or because you're their boss, because it's how you make them feel, and your integrity and the way you carry yourself and the honesty with which you hold yourself to account and others to account, I think is really, really important. People just want the truth.
We had a senior player group, so when it came to leadership, it wasn't just about me within the squad. On the pitch, there was senior players, there was Lynn Cantwell, Joy Neville, and it was really important to me that when we won the Grand Slam, that they were lifting the trophy with me. I knew there was potential in us to do something special, and I knew that we could develop and we could become. I didn't think we'd win a Grand Slam, but that every year there would be improvements, and you know, the squad really drove me. Like, that's what got me out of bed at 5:30 in the morning.
I mean, you've heard of the term thinking outside the box. And in today's world of marginal gains and trying to get a gain on your competitors, people try to think outside the box. A winning template for me is thinking inside the box. What has worked in the past?
Like Martin Luther didn't say, I have a business plan, I have a strategy. What he said was, I have a dream, and it's no different in any team, be it in the office or be in sport.
Some great successes in the world have come from winning template, enhanced over time.
I think you have to have moments of inspiration that people can see that you've got a vision for the future as the leader. You know, we're talking about someone who's at the top of an organisation or working towards the top of an organisation, leading people. They want to see where you're going. You know, people want to know where we are now, where we're going to be in 6 weeks' time, in 6 months' time. And then the final thing is you need technical excellence to have credibility as a leader. So whilst I would understand leadership generally, I'm not sure I'd be an effective leader in a law firm or in a construction company, because I wouldn't have the technical knowledge.
You need to keep reinforcing your key principles. You create that environment that ultimately dictates the behaviour of your team or in a business environment. But as a leader, you do need to step into that space to understand, like, what worked for me in last season, what worked for me for last year's, you know, game plan. You know, that needs to evolve. Yes, we keep the good bits of it, but we need to keep moving on, because we're on a railroad track. But you know, there's other teams behind us, and if we don't keep moving forward, they're going to hit us.
It's not about having a lot of complexity. It's about having 3 or 4 really core principles based around the challenges that you face as a company or as a team, and then layering it on with constant communication of how we're going to overcome those.
Your culture drives whether your team and your players will perform. And ultimately, your culture will drive resilience, passion, your intensity, and ultimately the players and your team's self-efficacy to get over the obstacles that will be in their way.
It's a rocky road sometimes, but if you get more decisions right than wrong, if you communicate well with people, if you build relationships, if you thicken that cord, then people will begin to follow you as the leader. Leadership is a skill that can be learned.